Good afternoon, everybody. This is Wendy from Sinister. That's starting off real good. I hope everybody's having a good day. It is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026, and I hope everybody had a good St. Patrick's Day. Did something fun and green. Drank some green beer, maybe, possibly. Had some good food, with good people. Can't ask for a better day. It got up to, oh God, 89 degrees yesterday here in California, and I don't think I'm ready. We didn't have enough winter here. We hardly had any winter here this year. So I think we're going to have a hell of a summer, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be very, very, very hot if it's already 90 degrees here. Not looking forward to that at all. But yeah, so Kelsey Fitzsimmons had a hearing this morning and she opted for a bench trial, which I feel is probably the correct thing for her. This judge seems to like her, and Tim Bradel asked to wait until the end of the hearing today before they made their decision known. And I thought I thought that's pretty smart because you can kind of get a feel for what the judge is thinking as far as like some text messages they wanted to go over and different things like that. So they got a good feel. I got a good feel too. I mean, I think she's better off with the bench trial, to be honest with you. Um, but being a cop's word against a cop's word, it's his word against hers. And when it comes to something like that, you need somebody that can follow the court's instructions to a T, so that to make sure that things that shouldn't be considered aren't, and to things that should be considered are. And I think that a judge is the only way to assure that that happens. So anyway, she seemed happy. She looked good. Tim Bradel seemed very positive, very chipper, which is a good sign. So yeah, last night I was watching Turtle Boy, and he was playing the recorded calls from Justin Alayan to the non-emergency um, new what Andover Police Department, um, leading up to the day he broke in with his brother and two fellow firefighters. And he is a cantankerous, he's like a spoiled brat who doesn't get his way. And the saddest thing is, I think it was the second to the last call or whatever. No, it was, yeah. You could hear the baby in the background, and the baby just sounds like he wants his mom. It's a baby that wants to be breastfed. It was just that whiny, it wasn't a real cry. It was just a whiny. And so the phone with this nonsense, hang up the fucking phone and pay attention to your son. He needs you. He needs somebody right now. He needs his mom is who he needs. But if he can't have her, he needs his other parent, and that's supposed to be you. He even had his sister, I believe it was Courtney, not Ashley. Ashley's the junkie. I believe it was Courtney. He even had her talk to the police officer. And these calls, I mean, especially the ones before the restraining order was taken out. It was a call the same day, like at 4 hours before he took out the restraining order. It's proof that everything he said to get that temporary emergency restraining order was a lie, because he basically states on the phone call that Chelsea was planning on taking the baby to New Hampshire for the 4th of July weekend, or 4th of July holiday. And he didn't want her to, because he felt like it was his turn to have the kid, quote unquote, the kid. What a disgusting POS. I'm telling you, it's like, I don't know what Chelsea saw in him. He's scrawny, he's ugly, He sounds like a girl when he talks on the phone. But he just started getting really indignant in the last couple of phone calls to the police. He was just like, "Well, I'm just want it to be noted that you said no to giving me a police detail to go over to the house and get my stuff, and so I will escalate as I see fit." And it's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean by escalate? If something should happen, I will escalate the situation as I see fit. And so it's like, what, are you going to go over there with a gun? And if her dad shows up because you set off the alarm, what are you going to do? He makes it sound like her dad is some mafioso, hitman. And I don't get that feeling from her dad at all. He's a very, he seems like a soft-spoken individual. He seems like a perfect gentleman. I mean, I think Justin's trying to build up hype to justify things that he's doing, and I think that his true colors are starting to show, and people are starting to see his true colors. And I think he is kicking himself for taking it to this degree of ugliness with Kelsey, because she has a hell of a lot more on him that she can tell than he does on her. You know? It's so, I mean, and she's been holding back. She didn't want to play dirty, but he pushed her into a corner, and she really has no choice in the matter. He left her no choice. She wants her baby back, and she's a mama bear who's willing to do anything she can to get her baby back, and nobody's going to stand in her way, least of all Justin, the little twerp. She can probably take him. So yeah, and he was talking about how he didn't want to, his family didn't ask to be put in that position. Well, Kelsey didn't ask to be put in that position either. I mean, what are you talking about? You showed up at Kelsey's house that night. So if you felt like you were in danger that night because of the shooting, that's your fault, because you went there. They told you to wait around the corner and they would bring the baby to you, but you had to go and get the baby and you were waiting in the garage. That's on you. You have no one to blame but yourself for that. And your sister, if she's smart, she will blame you for that too, because if she feels like she was in danger. And your mom definitely should blame it on you. It's not Kelsey's fault. She didn't ask you to be there. She didn't want you there. So yeah, there's that. What else? Turtle Boy's motion to have Cosgrove disqualified was denied, which we kind of figured it would be. But the judge used all kinds of, twisted language to explain his reasoning, and none of it made sense, because ultimately there's still a conflict. So it doesn't matter how many different ways you try to explain why you denied it, there's still a conflict of interest. He was still named as a defendant in a civil case brought on by Lindsay Gattani. So, if he calls her as a witness for the prosecution, he has to bolster her credibility, make her sound like she's really, credible and a good witness, a good, blah, 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 blah. But then if she goes forward with the civil suit against him, then he has to try and discredit her and make her sound like she's not competent and she's not trustworthy and you can't believe a word she says. So how are you going to do that? In one of the trials, you'll be lying, obviously, because she can't be both, right? So I don't know. I don't know how the judge is justifying it not being a conflict of interest, but it is what it is. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, I don't think you're going to find 12 juries to convict Turtle Boy. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't break any laws. They're just weaponizing that one law. And it'd be interesting to see how many people they've actually followed through with charges for that law in the history of Norfolk County, or any county in Massachusetts for that matter. It'd be interesting to see how many people have ever been charged with that witness intimidation law, and how many of those people were taken all the way to trial for it. I'd be willing to bet that there's not too many, maybe, I mean, because they had to really think hard to come up with something to charge him with. That wasn't like it's not like they just came right to him. They had to think long and hard to figure something out. So it tells me that it's not a common charge, and it's not a common statute that they use for that. So yeah, if that doesn't prove that he was singled out and focused on, I don't know what does prove that. Um, so yeah, today I wanted to start talking about, Kelsey Fitzsimmons' trial is set to start on Monday morning. So, and that's only, now that it's only a bench trial, it'll only probably last a day and a half, maybe 2 days. So, I was trying to think of the next things that are coming up. The Bartholomew's have to have all that, the testing done and all that to see if they're even capable of helping with their defense and whether or not they can stand trial. Little Mimi Torres, her mom and aunt aren't going on trial. I think May is their next court date. Aaron Spencer's court date was set for June 13th, I believe. That was set today. I believe there is no media allowed in the courtroom still. But Defense Diaries is going to be there, boots on the ground, and they're going to keep everybody updated as to what's going on. But yeah, as far as, trials go, there's really not much going on, but there is a new case in Texas, Jefferson County, Texas, of a 16-year-old, possibly pregnant young lady who was unalived by a 22-year-old woman and a 23-year-old man, because she was supposedly pregnant, and I'm assuming it was his baby or alleged baby, and this girl, this 23-year-old or 22-year-old girl, allegedly did this to keep her friend, quote unquote friend, the 23-year-old male, out of trouble for, statutory rape, because he's 23 or 24 and this young lady's only 16. And so I couldn't find the actual literal probable cause affidavit, but I found parts of it, I believe. And so we're going to cover that. But that's just heartbreaking that somebody could be. I mean, I understand if, he's your friend or your lover or whatever, you don't want him to get in trouble, but are you willing to throw your life away for that? Would he throw his life away for you? I mean, he's sleeping with another girl. So I'm willing to bet that no, he wouldn't throw his life away for you. So why would you do that for him? I don't get it. And so, but it's just alleged. They get to stand trial before they're convicted. You can't convict them pre-trial, even though we love to do that. We love to, you can't help us for that. But I try to keep myself neutral until then. So, anyway, let's get on to it. Okay, and again, I'm going to be wearing my glasses, so we're going to take me off. And let's... Just one second. Okay. Gotta make it big for my blind ass. Okay. Okay, Texas woman accused of murdering quote unquote possibly pregnant 16-year-old girl identified as quote unquote living girlfriend of alleged accomplice. So she was living with this man and she was only 16. Where are her parents? Where are her parents? And this is the girl who allegedly did it. She doesn't even look like the same girl. Wow. Authorities in Texas announced on Thursday that a second suspect in the alleged unaliving of a teenager last weekend is under arrest. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, JCSO, said that the 24-year-old Chelsea Ann Marie Shipp was arrested around 3:40 a.m. at residence in Liberty Hill, which is more than a 4-hour drive away from the Beaumont area crime scene. The early details emerging from the case are shocking and indicate that suspects wanted the minor victim unalived, believing that the male defendant would get in trouble because the victim was quote unquote possibly pregnant at the age of 16. The JCSO said that its deputies worked with the Liberty Hill Police Department and the Williamson County Sheriff's Office to arrest Shipp in the early morning hours in connection with the unaliving of 16-year-old Katlyn Nicole Stone of Vidor, Texas. Stone was found fatally shot on Sunday, March 27th. Wait a minute. How could it be Sunday, March 27th? Is that of this year? At a residence in the 14,000 block. I wonder if they meant. No, it couldn't be the 17th because that was yesterday. At a residence in the 14,000 block of Kolb's Corner in West Jefferson County, Texas. When was this story written? Oh, 2022. Okay, so this happened in 2022. Okay. And the trial's now, that would explain why the trial's coming up. Duh. Okay, the JCSO, which said that the victim's family has been notified of her death, credited various law enforcement agencies and the public for their efforts in this case. Quote, "We appreciate the many Crime Stoppers tips and assistance offered by the public," unquote, the Sheriff's Office said on Facebook. Quote, "The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office would also like to extend our gratitude to the Chambers County District Attorney investigators, the Chambers County Sheriff's Office, the Galveston County Sheriff's Office, the Williamson County Sheriff's Office, and the Liberty Hill Police Department for their professionalism and assistance in this investigation. A probable cause affidavit said that a person identified Brandy Moon first alerted the authorities to Stone's murder. Said that a person identified Brandy Moon first alerted. I don't get that sentence. The witness said, so they've only known each other for a year, and she's throwing her life away for this guy. The witness said that she met Shipp last summer. Oh, this witness is the one that met Shipp last summer. Okay, never mind. And that they used to work together for a beach house cleaning company. Moon said Shipp was a supervisor. The witness said that Shipp called her on Friday night, March 25th, and asked if she could come over with Cody Arnold, her alleged accomplice, and a girl Shipp allegedly described as Arnold's girlfriend. According to the affidavit, Moon said Arnold and two females did eventually go over to the residence for quote-unquote 10 or 15 minutes on Friday night. Arnold was said to be quote-unquote seeing both of the women he has with him. And then here's a little excerpt on her statement. On Friday night, March 25th, 2022, Brandy stated Chelsea Shipp called and stated she hadn't seen Brandy in a while and asked if she could stop by Brandy's residence at 18,175 Kiker Road in Winnie, Texas. She stated she was coming from Fannett with Cody Arnold and a girl who was Cody's girlfriend. Brandy stated she told Chelsea she could come by. Before they got there, Cody Myers mentioned that Chelsea had been seeing Cody Arnold. Who's Cody Myers now? Cody Myers also stated Cody Arnold was seeing both of the women. The trio arrived, and Chelsea introduced Brandy to the girl who was supposedly Cody's girlfriend. Brandy stated the trio stayed about 10 or 15 minutes. Moon said Ship called her again the next day and asked if she could use her car because she had, quote unquote, some business to take care of. Moon said she allowed Ship to use her car but began to realize something wasn't right by Sunday morning. That morning, Ship allegedly returned with Moon's car, and, according to the witness, something seemed to be bothering the defendant. Brandy stated she got up on the morning of 3/27/2022 at 7 a.m. and got ready to go to work. Chelsea showed up about 8 a.m. in Brandy's car to return it. Chelsea came in the house, and it seemed to Brandy that something was bothering Chelsea. Brandy asked if Chelsea needed to talk about something. Brandy asked if Chelsea was okay and if Chelsea wanted to talk about something, and Chelsea said no. Brandy told her, quote, "I am here if you need me," end quote. Brandy told Chelsea they could talk later, and Chelsea said okay and walked outside. Brandy stated Chelsea kept saying, quote, "Hey, don't forget, if anybody asks you, I was with you in Baytown and Cody had your car," end quote. Brandy asked, "Why, what's up?" And Chelsea asked Brandy if Brandy had her phone on her person. Brandy stated she told Chelsea the phone was in Brandy's room. Brandy stated the fact that Chelsea asked if Brandy had her phone with her made Brandy suspicious. Brandy stated she has known Chelsea to do meth before and thought it may have had something to do with that. Brandy stated Chelsea told her, "Get in the truck." Brandy got into Chelsea's truck, and Brandy said, "What's up?" Chelsea said, "I got rid of her." Brandy replied, "What did you do? Beat her up or something?" And Chelsea said, "No, I shot her." Chelsea made a shooting motion with two fingers as if she was shooting a gun and moved her thumb 2 times downward like she was firing a gun. Brandy asked Chelsea, "Where is she? Is she okay?" Chelsea stated, "He asked me to take care of a problem, and now he has to do what he has to do." Brandy stated she asked about Chelsea's gun because Brandy said she knew Chelsea owned one. Brandy stated she has seen Chelsea carry the gun in her boot, on her waist, and in her lap when driving. Brandy advised Chelsea, stated she believed. Okay. Believe. The patrol deputies also met. Okay, so that's not continued. So that's just an excerpt. Hey, don't forget, if anybody asks you, I was with you in Baytown. Okay, so this is what I just read. The affidavit said that Moon went to her father-in-law, the constable for Chambers County, and told him about Ship's statements. From there, the JCSO got involved in the investigation and interviewed Brandy Moon's nephew, Cody Lee Smith. Smith allegedly told cops that Ship confessed to shooting a girl, asked for help moving the body, and even admitted how the victim was unalived. Here's another excerpt from the probable cause affidavit. Patrol deputies also met and spoke with the nephew of Brandy K. Moon, identified as Cody Lee Smith. Cody Lee Smith advised he was approached by Chelsea Ann Marie Ship, who confessed that she had shot a girl and needs Cody Smith's help to move the body. Cody Smith asked where the body was, and Chelsea Ann Marie Ship stated it was in Cody Arnold's house in a carpeted room. Chelsea admitted she killed the girl with a gun Chelsea owned. Chelsea stated she had gotten rid of the gun and needed to get rid of the body too. Cody Lee Smith refused to assist or have anything to do with Chelsea Ann Marie Ship. Both Brandy K. Moon and Cody Lee Smith gave sworn affidavits describing what they knew of the case. Jefferson County Detective Daniel Powell went to the residence where Cody Arnold was known to reside, that residence being 14529 Kolb's Corner, Beaumont, Jefferson County, Texas, 77705. Detective Powell knocked at the door and spoke with Cody Arnold. Cody Arnold gave Detective Powell consent to search Cody Arnold's residence and bedroom. Upon entering Cody Arnold's room on the south side of the mobile home, Detective Powell discovered a body. The upper portion of the body was wrapped in a black garbage bag and the lower portion was wrapped in a blanket. There was a shell casing in plain view on a pillow. Detective Powell retreated to obtain a search warrant. The body was identified as, and it's redacted, the live-in girlfriend of Cody Arnold. Shipp's arrest came days after the arrest of her alleged accomplice, Cody Arnold, 22. The affidavit said that the victim's body was found at Arnold's residence. The upper portion of the body was wrapped in, okay. That's Cody Arnold. Records show that Arnold was taken into custody by the JCSO and booked on a murder charge before 5 a.m. on Monday at the Jefferson County Correctional Facility, where he remains held on a $1 million bond. Law and Crime can confirm that Shipp has arrived at the Jefferson County Correctional Facility from Williamson County. She was booked Tuesday afternoon, and her bond was also set at $1 million. Her Jefferson County mugshot appears below. The JCSO did not single out an alleged motive behind the shooting in its statement on Shipp's arrest, but the affidavit said Arnold admitted after being read his Miranda rights that the 16-year-old was, quote-unquote, possibly pregnant, and that Shipp was the one who pulled the trigger. Note, Cody Arnold later admitted under Miranda that Chelsea Shipp shot her between the hours of 2 and 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 26th. Cody states she was probably pregnant and was only 16 years of age. Well, if she's living with him, I mean, come on now. I don't think anybody's expecting them not to be sleeping together. Cody Arnold advised that Chelsea was telling him he was going to get in trouble for getting her pregnant. Cody stated further that Chelsea had a .380 and a black 9mm handgun. Yeah. So, it's like, what the hell, right? Never mind. She's already been sentenced. What the fuck? I thought it was going to trial. Oh, she pled guilty. Okay, well, let's read this then. Wow. Didn't have that on my bingo card. Okay. Winnie woman pleads guilty, gets 40 years for 2022 murder of a 16-year-old girl. Oh, well, come on. What happened? God damn it. Okay. She confessed to several people that she had shot the girl, telling at least one person, "I got rid of her," according to a probable cause affidavit. Okay.
Grainger offers professional-grade products, easy ordering, and next-day delivery, making them the go-to play for everyone keeping arenas game day ready. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
To the woman from Winnie who pled guilty to murdering a teen in 2022. Chelsea Shipp received a 40-year sentence. She's confessed to shooting 16-year-old Katlyn Stone while she slept in a Jefferson County mobile home. Prosecutors say she even bragged to others, saying, "I got rid of her." Deputies found Stone's body wrapped in a garbage bag in Cody Arnold's mobile home. Court documents say Arnold was Shipp's boyfriend. He faces a murder trial in August. We'll keep you updated as it moves forward.
Okay, so if it was his live-in girlfriend and Ship's his girlfriend, what the fuck? Okay, let's read this one. Beaumont, Texas. A 28-year-old Southeast Texas woman was sentenced to 40 years in
Laramie
prison.
Tunsil says he extended with the Washington
Oops.
Commanders because of respect.
Sorry. 40 years in prison today after accepting a plea offer in the murder of a 16-year-old girl who was shot while sleeping in a Jefferson County mobile home in March of 2022. Chelsea Ann Marie Shipp, 28, of Winnie, appeared before Judge John Stevens in criminal district court, where she entered the plea agreement with prosecutors. She had been indicted on first-degree murder charges in June of 2022. The case began March 27, 2022, when Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies discovered the body of Katlyn Nicole Stone, 16, after receiving information from witnesses about the killing. Shipp confessed to multiple people that she shot Stone, according to a probable cause affidavit in the case. Shipp, on March 27, 2022, told another woman, quote, "I got rid of her, and I shot her," end quote, while making the shooting motion with two fingers. The shooting happened March 26 between 2 and 3 p.m. at the mobile home where Stone lived with her boyfriend, Cody Arnold, 25, of Beaumont. Arnold told investigators that Stone had recently taken a pregnancy test that came back positive, and that Shipp was telling him, quote, he was going to get in trouble for getting her pregnant, end quote. Court documents show Shipp also approached the woman's nephew asking for help moving Stone's body from Arnold's residence. That takes some balls. The woman's nephew refused, and both he and the woman provided sworn affidavits to authorities. Arnold gave detectives consent to search his mobile home on March 27th. Police found Stone's body wrapped in a black garbage bag and blanket on a bed, with a shell casing visible on a pillow. The upper portion of her body was wrapped in the garbage bag, while the lower portion was covered with a blanket. Arnold was arrested March 27, 2022, the same day Stone's body was discovered. Shipp was arrested March 31st. Both Shipp and Arnold were held on $1 million bonds at Jefferson County Jail. The affidavit states Arnold admitted that Shipp owned both a .380 and a 9mm handgun. Shipp reportedly told a friend that she planned to report one of her guns as stolen if questioned by police. Arnold, who is currently being held in the Jefferson County Correctional Facility, is set for trial on a murder charge on August 11, 2025, according to court records. Defense attorney James Macon represented Shipp in the proceedings. This is a developing story. We will update. Okay. Wow. So, but he's still going on trial, so we will follow that when it comes around. So that's not coming around till August, apparently. One more video. This is just heartbreaking. Just 1 second. Okay.
Good evening. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Aaron Drawhorn. Kimberly is off tonight. She has been captured. We first broke the story about the most wanted murder.
Of course, I'm using Wi-Fi today, so it's going to be a bitch. Okay, well, we'll go on with the article. Court document paints disturbing picture of events surrounding a teenage girl's murder. Jefferson County. She's been captured. KFDM Fox 4 first broke the story about the most wanted murder suspect in Jefferson County in some time. Chelsea Ann Marie Shipp, 24, is behind bars at Jefferson County Jail. She was caught and handcuffed early Thursday morning around 3:45 a.m. at a home in Liberty Hill. That's north of Austin in Williamson County. Deputies drove about 5 hours to bring her back to Jefferson County. She and 22-year-old Cody Arnold are accused of gunning down 16-year-old Katlyn Nicole Stone of Vidor. Arnold has been in custody since Sunday. We got our hands on court documents, and the probable cause affidavit claims Shipp confessed to others about the crime. A friend says Cody Arnold had been seeing both the 16-year-old victim, Katlyn Stone, and Chelsea Shipp. It states that Stone was killed between 2 and 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 26th. Cody Arnold admitted to investigators that Stone was shot then, according to the affidavit, and that she was 16 and, quote, possibly pregnant. Arnold said Chelsea told him he'd get in trouble for getting her pregnant. An acquaintance who cleaned houses with Chelsea Shipp in Crystal Beach told detectives that Chelsea said on Sunday morning, "I got rid of her." "What did you do, beat her up or something?" "No, I shot her," making a shooting motion with 2 fingers. That's not all. In that conversation after the shooting, Shipp allegedly pointed fingers at Cody Arnold. "He asked me to take care of a problem, and now he has to do what he has to do." That is how Shipp's friend recalled the alleged stunning admission, destroying evidence claims as well. Another acquaintance told deputies that he was approached by Shipp, who confessed that she had shot a girl and needed help to move the body. Deputies showed up at Arnold's mobile home on Kolb's Corner in southwest Jefferson County last Sunday, March 27th, and knocked on the door. He let them in. They saw Katlyn's body, part of her body wrapped in a garbage bag and the lower part wrapped in a blanket. There was a shell casing on the pillow. J.P. Ben Collins Sr. has set bond for both Shipp and Arnold at $1 million each. So we will definitely be following his case, Cody Arnold's case, and if I find any more court documents where that's concerned, I will be sure to come on and let you guys know. So that being said, I believe that's all I was going to cover today, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.